Joplin Schools Board of Education meeting to order. Roll call, please. Mrs. Worsler.
Present.
Here. Present.
Here. Present. Please join me in standing and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I move for approval of the agenda.
I have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Ms. Schroeder to approve the agenda. Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Reports, board president's report. We have some celebrations in front of us that our board members will be sharing. Let's go ahead and get those started if we can.
Teacher Proud Tuesday winner, Jennifer Heislip. Jennifer is a special education teacher at Stapleton Elementary during the regular school year, but she is currently spending June at Soaring Heights for summer school. Jennifer received several nominations for her warmth, expertise, and care. Some of the nice things said about her were, Jennifer has been an incredible addition to our special education team. It feels like she was meant to be in this role. Her dedication, adaptability, advocacy, and compassion make her a true asset to our team. You can see the love she has for her job and the kids. All the kids love her, and I think we all agree that we look forward to our days with her. Thank you, Jennifer, for the impact you make on your fellow workers and students. We are proud to have you as part of the Eagle Nation. Thank you also to Mid-Missouri Bank for sponsoring this award.
Okay, and I have the honor of telling you about our support staff star, Kim Marks. Kim is the building engineer right here at Memorial Education Center, where she was nominated for her generosity, kindness, skill, and the special qualities that keep her going above and beyond. Here are a few of the ways Kim supports our district with excellence. Kim is always working so hard to make the building look better, and she's an amazing painter and detailer. She makes everyone's life easier. Being helpful at work goes a huge way to make someone else's day better. Thank you, Kim. You're an amazing teammate, and your kindness and leadership are very appreciated.
Okay, celebrating the life of Dr. Ron Langford. The board wishes to honor the memory of Dr. Langford, who sadly passed away on June 7th. Joplin Schools is deeply appreciative of the time he dedicated to our community and the significant influence he had on our district. During his tenure from 2016 to 2021, Dr. Langford held the roles of Human Resource Director, Assistant Superintendent for Business Operations, where he served the district with his vast knowledge and expertise, and he was here when we really needed him. A few of the heartfelt sentiments shared by Joplin Schools employees about Dr. Langford include, one of our best. It was such a huge privilege to work with this great man, a servant leader, a great man and leader, someone whose heart was entirely wrapped up in the passion of education. He was one of a kind, salt of the earth. I learned so much from him. He will be greatly missed. And there are so many more kind words said. Our thoughts and condolences go out to his family and friends and all who cherished him.
Okay, MSBA Summer Summit Conference. Congratulations to David Weaver and Riley Hartwell for achieving their master's and board member certification, and to the board for earning the Governance Team Award. This is the third year in a row our board members have earned the Governance Team Award, and Joplin was one of only 26 districts in the state to achieve this accomplishment. The awards were acknowledged at the MSBA Summer Summit Conference on June 15th.
All right, and the next one we want to congratulate Riley Hartwell, who was voted to be the president-elect of the Missouri School Board Association for the upcoming 2006-2007 school year.
Okay.
To recognize our JHS track team members who won at state, congratulations to the following JHS track team members who placed at Missouri State High School Athletics Association's state competition class 5. And you can see their names up there. I'm not going to try and do all of that.
a certificate for all of them, correct, Joe? Okay, so we have our student athletes here. If you would come up when your name is mentioned, if you're here, please. We'd like to present you with a certificate, and we're going to get a picture with you, so please stay up here. Tucker Martin. Kendall Niagrongo. Might mess that up. Sorry, Kendall. And we're going to get them all together. Neil Barstow, Hayden Gomez, Isaiah Tom, Elijah Madison, Ali Motters, Kyrie Britton, and Riley Strickland. I noticed we had a lot of girls competing, so I'm very proud of you all. The state, along with our boys who made it. So, do you want to get behind or how do we-
Don't forget to
Yeah, congratulations on an excellent season. I know the training for that started a long time ago, so thank you, and thank you for representing us well at the state championship. Anything else under superintendent's report? That brings us up to our strategic focus, I believe.
Yes, and before we get into the strategic focus, I wanted to mention Dr. Mwangi participated last year, the entire year, with the American Association of School Administrators program. The program she completed was a National Principal Supervisor Academy with support from the University of Washington. Should be happy about that. Opportunity to improve her skills with collaboration with principals, learning communities, evidence collection, results, goal setting, monitoring progress, and leadership development. I'm very excited that Dr. Mwangi spent the time to do that, because one of the things that we know is behind the teachers are always number one. They're the reason our kids do well academically. And for teachers to do well academically, you have to have principals that are highly trained. And it's exciting for us to continue to sharpen the saw internally at central office so we can assist our principals. So thank you, Dr. Mwangi, for that.
On behalf of the Joplin School Board, I'd like to recognize this accomplishment too, and thank you and congratulations. That brings us next, I believe, to our strategic focus. Our first item under strategic focus will be our construction update. Dr. Harding.
So we have gone from our bi-weekly meeting, every 2 weeks meetings, to our weekly meeting now, with the pace of the construction speeding up and the time frame getting shorter and shorter. And so we had that today and saw a lot of really cool things, good things, and saw some things that we had some discussions on. And so Eric's here to kind of give us data, kind of where we're at.
Sure. I think we've got some slides to go along with this. Okay, here we go. McKinley. Everyone can hear me? So as you can see, there's a lot of sheetrock. There's a lot of painting going on. Flooring as well at McKinley. McKinley by far is the most intrusive project. So we're very happy with the progress at McKinley right now. More McKinley shots. a lot of overhead, duct work, lighting, electrical conduit, things like that going in right now. Royal Heights. So what you see there was the old cafeteria. There was a stage, if all of you could remember that. So where the metal studs are, there was a stage. It was demoed out, and work is progressing very nicely. Hallways, lots of color, lots of splashes of color everywhere.
So if you remember, that was for wayfinding for safety security. A lot of us principals know our rooms by our teachers, but when emergency people arrive, they don't know who the teachers are. So it's to identify hallways and classrooms. They're color coded. So this was the only shot we had of that, and it had to be taken last week, right when they put the flooring down, because the second they put the flooring down, it gets covered up. So there's a lot of flooring down. You just can't see it because it's covered up by paper.
Yeah, if you would walk through right now through all 3 schools, you would think, are they doing anything? But it's all covered. It's all underneath protective layers. More Royal Heights, the new library, Jefferson. So South Addition exterior is nearly complete. North Addition, they were actually pouring some concrete today at the new stairs to the kitchen. So got that in right before rain hit, which is kind of the story now. It's kind of weird to talk about rain during summertime hours, but it has affected us greatly. New corridor windows to the library, flooring installation, obviously, new block, fire-rated doors.
And so really with that corridor, the library kind of becomes the centerpiece of the school. So you can actually walk around. If you've never been in Jefferson before, you're basically walking an L. Now you can walk around the whole building through that corridor around the library.
Yep.
Very neat.
So another cafeteria shot, Jefferson. Ductwork being installed at the upper right.
And so, yep, currently our schedule is for the most part unchanged. The only thing, as we talked about last time, is we're moving McKinley parking area up for the pickup and drop off of students. We're moving that up in the projects just because we're already needing to replace the parking lot at McKinley, so we might as well just do the whole project at once while we're there.
Makes complete sense. One thing to add about phase 1, project completion for all 3 schools is nearing the end of July, first part of August for all 3 schools. So we're right in that target date. Yeah.
Any questions?
Very good. Okay. Thank you very much. No other questions? Appreciate all what's going on. And I was in the buildings again this morning, and it's very obvious the older buildings are looking more like the newer buildings.
Yes.
In terms of the textures, the colors, the overall, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have 10 elementary schools on par with each other very soon.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Professional development, Dr. Mwangi.
Yes, and I'm going to have Kara Clark join us. Kara is the president of our Joplin Professional Development Team. So we bring you an update every other year about our professional development. This is just one piece of the overall puzzle, but just to give you a breakdown, the end of May. So generally speaking for the school year, we do substitutes, obviously, for different trainings. Our new teachers all go to a particular day. We have different trainings we send them to where the sub costs come in. But then any of the other professional development that requires services, so our new DIBELS training that we brought on that requires professional development for us to pay for that to happen, as well as travel, conference, and then just general supplies of a lot of different material out of that budget. When you think about the places and the things that we are doing, we're doing both local and out of town. The second slide there just gives you an idea. We just had a team come back from the PLC Institute in Tulsa that had a really great time. Lots that we've done with Solution Tree, high quality professional development. But more importantly, I'm going to have Kara talk about 2 specific programs very unique to Joplin that we do that our JPDT runs that really has transformed since even I started as a teacher in the district many, many years ago.
Thank you for having me here today. One of the first programs we wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit is our TOPS program, which is the Teacher Orientation Program for Success. This is where new teachers, and not just new to the profession, but new to Joplin, come and get professional development before the year even starts, which kind of sets them on a pathway for success because we can help show them support systems and also what they can expect within their buildings. It starts a partnership with some of the community members with what they bring to the TOPS program itself. And it helps us to figure out what needs there are to supply the teachers with throughout the year. Some of the things we do is we know we are getting teachers that aren't just new to the profession, but we're also engaging teachers that are coming to us with a lot of experience as well. So we don't want to just provide the opportunities like classroom management, which we still offer those opportunities because new teachers need to learn from that as well. But we want to make sure that our more veteran teachers that are coming to us also have opportunities to grow as well within those first couple of days. So we have lots of different sessions that we can offer our teachers, like backwards planning, building thinking classrooms, which is how they can teach students in a different way that engages them and gets them up and thinking. Also about some of the programs that they're going to have to work with, like Canvas and Power School or Mastery Connect, so that they feel like they're getting a head start on the year and they're not behind the 8 ball. With TOPS this year, we're really excited because we have fewer new hires this year than we have in years previous, and we're bringing in 12 experienced teachers. And so that's really exciting for us to have that growth for our district. The other one we want to talk about is our Joplin Connect, which is a professional development conference that's put on by Joplin teachers for our Joplin teachers. And we worked really hard. We've done this now for 2 years. And this past year was a great way to show that we come together as Eagles because we had both our elementary and our secondary educators learning from each other. And one of the main focuses we do when we are working through Joplin Connect and figuring out what sessions we want to offer is that we work on our district strategic plan. Excuse me, I can talk, I swear. And so some of the things that we offered through that are things like phenomenon-based science instruction so that we can work on academic achievement where kids aren't just learning science, but they're learning to think about science and how to answer a question, or how we can use scaffolds to move some of our students up and grow their knowledge and learning. And we had over 102 different teacher leaders presenting at the conference, sharing with each other what they do and the successes that they have found. And when we asked our teachers after 2 years, what do you think about this program that we've been offering to you all? They came up with about a 4.6 out of 5 rating, saying we love this opportunity and we want to continue learning from each other because we can learn so much when we are engaging with each other. And so it's a really great opportunity that we get to provide to our teachers.
So with that, that's our 1% update for this year. We do anticipate for 26-27. Right now, we're projecting more in the professional service realm. We'll be having an RTI workshop August 10th and 11th with our building level teams, but well underway. And our JPDT, I don't know that I mentioned, they are elected by their peers. It's a teacher team, a professional development committee. And so we have these conversations and do these planning sessions several times throughout the year. So thank you, Kara, for her service on that committee.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. We had our data committee meeting recently. Dr. Monge, you want to have a report
Yes,
on that?
and I think Marta has the update.
Thank you, Dr. Wangi. Yes, some of the information that was reviewed on their virtual meeting that we had was very impressed. First off, Dr. Wangi, I'm very impressed by what you have done, your team has done, our teachers, just the success. And that being said, here's the details. Dibble's reading data showed strong growth across K through 3, with the percentage of students scoring proficient advanced increasing from fall to spring in every grade level. Kindergarten students improved from 24% proficient advanced in the fall to 59% by spring, while below basic decreased from 57% to 28%. First grade demonstrated the highest spring performance, with 60% of students reaching the proficient advanced range and below basic decreasing to 25%. Final EOC proficiencies will not be released until July, with APR later this fall. These projections are based on our internal work to make predictions from previous cut scores. Regardless, we are absolutely excited about the trajectory at our end-of-year data set. Algebra 1 EOC projections indicate district proficient advanced performance could improve from 46.1% in 2025 to approximately 57.2% in 2026. Government is projecting a nice increase in proficiency from last year, while English 2 and biology look to remain relatively similar. Joplin Schools is again showing steady gains in achievement and a data dashboard is in the development stage, if I can read this, in the development stage to launch this August for public view on our website. I can't read tonight, Dr. Wangi. It's a great day to be an Eagle. It very much is. And again, kudos to Dr. Wangi and all her staff and all of our principals and all of our teachers, because they've been doing all the heavy lifting. I just get to read the good stuff.
Yes, our teachers and our principals have done incredible lifting with our PLC and RTI work. We are very, very anxious to get our state data in because they are very excited to see what that may be. So early projections with EOCs are looking very good.
Very good. Exciting news. Okay, Dr. Dickey, financial statements and health and dental plan update. Or finance committee. Yeah, let's start with that. Veronica.
I have that report. It's very brief because I don't want to give away spoilers for the actual reports. But I will say that when the finance committee met last week, we reviewed a budget which has been prepared over the last several months, and reviewed bond projections, and are very happy with the ratings that we received, which is a testament to the decisions and the work that the finance team has done. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll hear the good news.
Very good. Thank you. Okay.
All right, so for the financial statements, the condensed statements are up on the board, and then the full packet is in the board docs on assembly. In addition to our miscellaneous accounts at UMB totaling a little under $300,000, we had at the end of the month of May a little over $7 million in general investment and debt service accounts, and a little over $109 million invested with MOCAT and MOSIP. As we entered June, June is a very heavy workload month and cash flow month for the district, as we will wrap up payroll and we will accrue payrolls that go out through August. We will see that cash flow start decreasing a little bit, and we'll start drawing some of those funds back from MOCAT. But on the balance sheet, the primary difference that you're seeing in the year-to-date overall percentage is attributed to our capital projects budget, as we have already budgeted the committed funds for phase 1 and the entire $10 million for phase 2. Questions? Okay. Health and dental. Again, we are closing out May. So as of May 31st, 2026, we had spent a little over $8.9 million of the $10.6 million budgeted. You'll notice that I adjusted up our Fund 9 budget this month to account for the increase in health and health claims and prescription costs that we've encountered this year. The total revenues for the healthcare plan were a little over $696,000. And total disbursements were a little over $784,000. Ending balance of May 31st was $428,986 and some change. The total revenues for the dental plan and our ending balance for the dental plan is $212,837 and some change. We are still spending it down. How many more months am I going to get to tell you that? Probably several. Okay, questions on health and dental?
Thank you.
Thank you for those reports, and appreciate each of those that presented the reports. That brings us to the public comment section of our meeting. Mrs. Worsler, are there any public comments this evening? Okay, there are no public comments. That moves us to our consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Hurd, a second by Ms. Sherrick. Please vote.
Yes.
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 And yes. That brings us down to the regular agenda. Accounts payable, Dr. Dickey.
Okay, the total bill list in your packet tonight is $15,482,554.33. It's a big cycle. Both this year and the comparison year have 3 billing cycles in it for you, whereas typically you might see 2. The one remarkable difference is that this year you do see another payment towards our phase 1 project and some curriculum and payroll increases. Happy to answer any questions.
I move for approval of payment of our accounts payable.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Mr. Schroeder to approve the accounts payables as presented. Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. That brings us to a big part of our meeting this evening. There was a bond issue that passed last April. It was a significant amount of money. And this evening, we have a resolution before us authorizing and directing the issuance and the sale and delivery of district's general obligation school building bonds. This is roughly a $40 million bond issue. And so we have Dr. Dickey has some information on that for us to consider in this very wonderful evening when we move forward with this project.
It is the moment we've all been waiting for. Super exciting. Happy to have with us tonight Dr. Brent Blevins. He's one of the managing directors with Piper Sandler. His partner, Dr. John Jungman, is with him in the audience as well. Brent's going to make another introduction and then talk you through the parameters resolution before you tonight.
Yeah, good evening. I appreciate that introduction. Like you mentioned, Dr. John Jungman, my partner, super excited to have him along with me with Piper Sandler. We also have Hayden Crumpton, who is with Gilmore and Bell, who's your special tax counsel, your bond counsel that has drafted the resolution. That's why you've enjoyed all that legal jargon to read in your board packet this evening. Hayden does a great job. Gilmore and Bell is the best in the business. What he basically does is make sure those documents meet all of the criteria for your state and federal tax law to make sure we're in compliance with IRS so the district does not lose their tax exempt status. So they do great work. So that's who's done your resolution. So this evening, I've got 3 quick things I'd like to discuss with you. Had a quick discussion with the Finance Committee on Monday. They asked some great questions as well. So one of those is your underlying rating that the district went through. Number 2 is some preliminary numbers as we're going to the market tomorrow to price the bonds. And the third is actually what's on your board packet for action item tonight, and that's approving the resolution authorizing Piper Sandler to sell your bonds tomorrow. So as I'm watching my phone, making sure nothing crazy happens across the country so our markets are stable tomorrow, we feel like we're going to have a great pricing. So with that said, one of the things that we go through is an underlying rating through Standard & Poor. They take a very deep dive into your community as a whole. They look at your household incomes. They look at your assessed value growth. They look at your economic growth. They look at home sales. They take a very deep dive into your entire economics of the Joplin School District. They also take a deep dive into your school district. And I will tell you, your administration, Dr. Dickey led that. Dr. Cichetto, I believe, was on the call as well as a few others in the administration. They take a very deep dive into the school district to see if your policies, processes, procedures, fund balances, long-range planning, the documents that your board gets each month for transmittals, how often you do budget amendments, the communication that the board has. They go into a very, very deep analogy, and then the district gets scored on that, and that's part of the scoring, the methodology that goes through Standard & Poor. The district received an A+ rating, which is where you've been in the past, which is very, very strong. That's in the probably top 25 to 30% of the state. And what that means is the investors that buy your bonds. So when we price your bonds tomorrow, we'll have hundreds of bond salesmen. We'll have hundreds and thousands of investors looking at your bonds. We've been pre-marketing these bonds for several weeks or for several days, trying to get the eyes on the investors of Joplin bonds. And we feel that we have a very good indication going in tomorrow. One of the things by having this A+ rating, the higher rated your bonds are, the lower interest rates you pay. So investors look at this. This goes on your official statement. This is also publicized, where investors can look at this and say, hey, these are highly rated bonds. Therefore, they're willing to pay up for those bonds. which means lower yields or interest rates for the districts because those are very, very secure bonds. So congratulations to the school district on doing that. This is some quick highlights that they said in their actual rating that they submitted. Was underlying rating reflects our view of the district's historical stable operating performance, healthy cash reserves and management debt burden. A consistent history of positive operating results has enabled the district to build substantial cash reserves. Conservative budgeting practicing. The district maintains robust liquidity through health cash reserve, supporting the strategic plan. Lots of good comments throughout this rating. So congratulations to the administration and board on the work that you did to get that A+ rating. Very important as we go into the market tomorrow. Any questions on the underlying rating? I will tell you that the school district itself scored about as high as you can score. So the policies and processes you have, I did get a great question from the finance committee. Is there a way to get this rating higher? And there's nothing that the district does in regards to policies or procedures or fund balances. It's really more economics inside of the Joplin area, not that they're bad, but to get a AA, you would have to have, over $1 billion of AV. Your AV per pupil would have to be much higher. And so nothing that the school board or the school district can control for a higher rating. So you did a great job as a school district in regards to getting that high rating. So the second thing I want to quickly talk about, as I mentioned, we're in the market tomorrow pricing the bonds. We fully expect a very good pricing. We've had some good indications the last couple of days from investors. We anticipate getting you $40 million and a little bit of change, probably not a lot, into your project fund, which is what the board, which was obviously what the constituents approved. These are 20-year maturities, so these pay out for 20 years. We structure your bonds to ensure that you can get into the market to meet your long-range plan. I know the board has talked about long-range planning, facility planning. You have a big number that you're looking at here in the next few years. And so we're trying to make sure that we're pricing these and structuring these that the district can come back in the next 5 to 7 years, depending on your assessed value growth, and do a very substantial no tax rate increase bond issue to continue taking care of your learning spaces for your kids here at Joplin. So we're currently looking at a 20-year maturity with a 10-year call date. What that means is in 10 years, you can refund or refinance those bonds. So it gives you the flexibility in 10 years on the last 10 years of that maturity to refund or refinance those bonds and save interest costs. This district has saved millions of dollars over the past several years on refundings. As you all know, we've had a conversation with you about refundings even in the last year, and it just hasn't had the savings that we want. So that 2013 that we were looking at, just not in the money right now. You have another callable debt, your Series 2017, that comes callable March 1st of 2027. We'll actually look at the 13 as well to see if we can combine those to save cost of issuance and get you some savings on that this fall. So hopefully we're back this fall talking about some savings. But this will have a 10-year call. So we'll have a call in 10 years, which allows the district to go back, refund it, save interest costs, and save more money in your debt service fund. Based upon today's markets, you're looking at a true interest cost, which means the yield to the worst, which means these are a locked rate. You'll never have a higher rate than what we, again, preliminary numbers, about a 4.17% interest rate on a 20-year bond. If we cannot refund that in 10 years, which you should be able to, but a bond yield, in other words, the yield of the best, is a 4.09. So you're probably going to pay somewhere between a 4.09 and a 4.17. I'm assuming closer to a 4.09 because the likability of that refunding in 10 years is very strong. So you'll probably get those interest cost savings. So again, 20-year maturity, 10-year call, somewhere between a 4 and a 4.15 is where we're anticipating those rates to fall tomorrow. As soon as we get those pricings, we'll be in touch with the district administration to get a verbal on that and hopefully get you some project money to start some pretty cool projects across the districts. Any questions on the preliminary numbers that we plan on pricing tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, that's a great question. We'll have several buyers, and it all depends on what size of block they buy. So we sell these what we call big blocks. So we'll sell them in $5,000 increments, and we could have an investor jump in and buy $5 million at it in one chunk, maybe even 10. So it depends on the market at that particular time. I will tell you that these will be institutional investors. not a lot of retail investors because the yields are so low. It just doesn't make sense when you can go out and get a CD for the same amount of money that you can get a 20-year bond. You're going to see institutional investors, large banks carrying billions of dollars of 401ks. You're going to have insurance companies out there. We did have a local bank here in Joplin that was interested in trying to reach out. So our desk is going to make sure they reach out to those individuals to see if those folks can buy those. Obviously, we're going to take the lowest yield for the district, but we did have some local folks also reach out that we're going to try to reach out to and see if someone buys those here in Joplin. We'll see. Obviously, we're trying to get the lowest yield for the district. Competition matters, which is why we try to get as many eyes on this pre-marketing these bonds and tomorrow as well. Try to get those low yields. We want to be oversubscribed in those different maturities so that we can hopefully get some bonds.
Couple of questions.
Yes.
Brent, the first one is, if these are sold tomorrow, what point will the cash hit the district accounts?
Yes. So we're anticipated to close on this on 7/15, July 15th is the closing date, and those would be deposited in the district's fund at that time. I'm not sure, Dr. Dickey, who you're going with on investments, but you're going to invest those proceeds, and as you're spending those down, you'll get some additional dollars in that investment that can go toward projects.
And that was my next question, Dr. Dickey, is that we do have short-term investments to earn a return on the $40 million while we're waiting to spend it.
Yeah, we'll actually have it immediately direct deposited at MOCAT so that it's immediately in our liquid fund there, and then we will invest it in a ladder that aligns with our project timeline with Crossland. And so MOCAT and Jason Hoffman have been really great to meeting with us and Crossland to start talking about timelines and draw schedules.
Any idea on what those rates are at this time?
Not right now. They're holding steady.
They are, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions?
The resolution this evening basically is a resolution authorizing Piper Sandler to go in the market tomorrow and price those bonds. Within that resolution, that identifies some parameters. Those parameters are obviously security cushions for the district to make sure that we don't go price a bond if the market goes crazy tomorrow. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but by all means, we anticipate a very good pricing, a very good sale, and getting you all some money to start doing some pretty cool projects for your kids. But if you do have any questions on the resolution, we will be happy to bring up Mr. Crumpton to answer any questions from Gilmore and Bell.
Yeah, a quick question for Mr. Crumpton. So is Gilmore and Bell? I'll wait for you to. So you're from Bond Council. Gilmore Bell's out of St. Louis area, if I remember correctly.
We have an office in St. Louis. Our headquarters in Kansas City. I'm out of Kansas City.
Okay. So you've reviewed everything, and everything looks good legally for us to move forward with these.
Yeah.
And then, Brent, what you're asking us to vote on tonight is the bond resolution.
That's correct.
Are there any questions for our bond counsel or for Piper Sandler?
Very good. Congratulations on a successful election. I know the percentage was super high. I think that speaks volumes of the work this board administration has done for your community to be supporting the district. So well done.
This will be a significant moment in 2026. Take a deep breath, and I would entertain a motion to approve this resolution to issue the bonds.
So I would make the motion.
We all want to move.
I think we all collectively would like to
Can
move
we
forward with a
make one
resolution.
motion?
I try to make it.
7 of us.
Do I have a motion? A motion by Mr. Hurd, a second by Mr. Robertson. Any additional discussion? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Our friends at
Thank
Piper
you.
are going to jet out the door to their next hotel stay,
Yes.
and but Hayden is going to stay for the signing after.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
That brings us to the next item on our agenda, the fiscal year 26 final budget adjustment. Dr. Dickey.
Okay. Final budget adjustment for fiscal year 26 is pretty unremarkable in terms of the size of our budget, but still we had some shoring up to do with a few expenditures and some revenues. The expenditure adjustments are to the tune of $329,970. Just a very few salary, federal adjustments, some operational expense changes, and some activity fund adjustments just to keep those in balance. and there will be an offset in the revenue for the activity adjustment. And then we have a revenue adjustment totaling $842,978. So when we were looking there, we actually ended up with a lot more delinquent tax revenue than we anticipated. So I just moved object codes a little bit, and then we have earned more interest on our temporary deposits than originally anticipated because the market has held steady. We had a pretty big downward adjustment in state revenue, whereas the formula did not quite materialize to the level as it was anticipated, but still, even with the decrease in state formula, it's a net positive revenue. And then I'm also bringing to you item number 3. I'm asking for approval of the allowable transfers from the general fund to capital projects, and they are included in the balance sheet. We will do the maximum general fund transfer of $4,079,992. Our transportation fund transfer, which is based off of our depreciation schedules and DESI allowances. And so we have a really high transportation fund transfer here this year at a little over $974,000. And then anything that we spend in career and technical ed out of cap outlay, we are able to make a transfer to replenish our capital projects fund. And so we will replenish $136,684. Net budget, the budget adjustment is a net increase of $513,008. Happy to answer any questions.
So under 3A, I mean, that transfer is all in support of the construction projects, right?
Yes, so it goes towards to maintaining a solid balance in our capital projects fund once we expend all of the committed funds that we have dedicated so that we can continue with our annual cap outlay expenses.
But this was, you had outlined this before, like we were planning on doing
Yep.
this. There's no mystery in that.
No mystery, no. So when I long range plan our capital projects fund, we, since COVID at least, have been making our max transfer. We just wait until the end of the year just to make sure that we feel solid with the bottom line. And again, feel very comfortable making the max transfer this year. Any other questions?
Okay, there are several components of this final budget adjustment of this fiscal year. I would entertain a motion to approve this. I have a motion by Mrs. Musser, a second by Mrs. Sherrick to approve the final budget adjustment. Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. That brings us to our preliminary budget. This will start July 1 for the upcoming fiscal year. Dr. Dickey.
Okay, so as Dusty changes our balance sheet up there, you'll see that our projected ending balances come to the top of your projected starting balances for the fiscal year 27 to carry through with, and so that we have clarity and consistency there. This is, again, like David said, this is our preliminary budget, and you can anticipate a minimum of 3 budget adjustments as we go through the next year, and maybe even one as early as July or August, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. But our budget is a living document, and it's a reflection of our school district's priorities, values, and commitment to our students. We try to ensure that our budget aligns our financial resources with our educational goals and that have been established by the board and the district strategic plan. The budget was developed with a collaborative process with not only school administrators and meetings with department heads across the district, but also with board officers and the district finance committee. Also, we're going to talk about the capital projects fund, which has had a lot of community stakeholder input, and then we've already talked tonight about some substantial community input in relation to the bond. So we will amend this budget throughout the year, but the focus is going to be on our 3 strategic plan focuses: academic achievement, instructional support, and community engagement. Local revenue makes up approximately 55% of the district's total revenues. And so our current property tax collections are projected at around $43.4 million for the upcoming year. Prop C sales tax is considered local revenue, and we're projecting a conservative $12.1 million there. And then our interest earnings are projected at approximately $3 million. That's pretty on par with what we projected last year. And again, we'll watch what's happening with the market and adjust that up or down as we see happening with our investments. Our local revenue is projected at a total of $68.8 million. State revenue accounts for approximately 31% of the district's budget. Our foundation formula budget, we've conservatively budgeted approximately $30.7 million from the foundation formula and classroom trust fund. As has been a hot topic with the state budget, and we are anticipating a significant shortfall in the state's ability to pay out the state adequacy target next year. And so I have budgeted very conservatively as if that money will not materialize. So if we get better news or revenues come in stronger than anticipated, we will adjust. It is included in the budget to participate in Missouri Career Ladder for next year. We know that has been a big highlight for our staff, and we know that that's a priority for this board, and so wanted to take a second to highlight it. Total state revenue is approximately $38 million. Federal revenue is $11.3 million, which includes our school lunch and breakfast programs, IDEA funds, title funding. We got good news this week that we were re-awarded our homeless education grant. And so I had conservatively not put that in this initial budget. And so you'll get to see that adjustment when we bring our next iteration to you. And then our other revenue that the district receives comes from tuition agreements, vocational education partnerships, and some consortium programs. Our total revenue budget for 26-27 is a little over $124 million across all four funds. Looking at the expense budget, the expenditure budget totals approximately $125.7 million across all funds. The budget reflects our commitment to maintaining high-quality educational opportunities while investing in facilities, personnel, and programs. Our operating funds, which includes both the general fund and the teachers fund, includes let me back up a second. We're going to talk about operating funds first, which is both Fund 1 and 2, general and teachers funds. Our salaries and benefits account for approximately 3/4 of our total operating budget. The fiscal year 26-27 budget includes the salary schedule improvements that this board has already approved, funding for Career Ladder that we discussed, continued support for employee health and dental benefits, and then professional development opportunities for staff and ample classroom resources and instructional supports. The capital projects budget, I want to talk about this just briefly. It includes our planned $4.5 million for annual cap outlay, where we continue maintenance, repair, and improvement of district facilities. As we talked about a second ago, the fiscal year 26 budget includes the full commitment of the $11 million for phase 1 and $10 million for phase 2. So that is not double budgeted into 27. As soon as the year rolls over on 7/1, anything that is unspent out of those funds, I will recommit to fiscal year 27. As project budgets are finalized and then the bond proceeds are received, I will also make the adjustments to the budget to reflect the bond proceeds. Debt service includes repayment of our general obligation bonds and associated interest. And again, we'll amend with updated schedules once we close on our Series 26 bonds.
Thank you, Dr. Dickey. That's a great explanation. When you spend $125 million, it's an explanation that is needed. Do we have any questions for Dr. Dickey as we look to consider this budget?
There's one page that's on the deck that shows the year-over-year both revenue and expenditures.
It's the revenue expense comparison. It's
this one. But that's the one I generally focus on because it shows, revenue stays pretty flat over year. So is our expenditure, which again says like, hey, we're doing a good job of managing, keeping that balanced and staying in line. I think it reflects positively on the administration and the board, like we are fiscally managing this very well. And I appreciate everything you do there, Dr. Dickey, related to that. But that's the page I always look at because that tells you the history of where we're going at the same time. But I think that speaks very well for us. So thank you.
And to add to that point, the Standard & Poor's also recognized all of these matters when they gave us a rating. So it's not just internally that we're hearing this from our our reports here, but it's an external source, S&P and Piper Sandler, and we received the highest rating that we could get for school district, from the school district part, so very, very appreciative of that. Are there any other questions or comments? With that in mind, then, I would entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 preliminary budget.
Just one question. The next meeting, all this stuff kind of comes up as you're closing on one year going to the next, so we'll get a final look at it at the next meeting.
As soon as we get June closed out completely and feel good about a submission for ASBR, that's when I will carry over the capital projects budgets. So I would anticipate, are you asking about like a revision with the capital planning? I'd like to bring you one in July. That's my hope, at the latest August.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, very good, thank you.
I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the fiscal year 27 preliminary budget.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Schroeder, a second by Mrs. Sherrick. Any additional discussion? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. That brings us to our final item on the regular agenda, Jung Stadium Turf and Indoor Facility Turf. Dr. Harding?
Yes, this, after that talk, this kind of seems like a little minute conversation, but an important one that we need to address. After the Jung was returfed in 2019, and it serves us well. We have a lot of activities that take place on it. But after last football season, while we were doing our normal maintenance, actually Coach Hyatt and I were walking the field and noticed that we felt like there was an unusually large amount of fibers that were breaking on the field. And so the good thing with having a great relationship with Mid-America Construction is we can call them immediately, and they're very responsive. And they came right down the next day and walked it with us, and they said, yeah, we agree with you that it doesn't look the way it should, so let us do some testing, make some phone calls. And so we were still under warranty, so we filed a warranty claim with AstroTurf to look into it. And over a few months of back and forth between us, and again, I want to publicly say thank you to Mid-America Construction for all the help they did for us on the backside. AstroTurf offered us to returf Jung Stadium with a full warranty for half price. It was difficult to take that for half price, especially since it was under warranty. And so Mid-America came in behind it and said, we'll tell you what, we will do the indoor facility basically for half price. So when you look at the market rate for both fields for turfing the indoor and also for Jung Stadium, it's about a 51% discount overall. So the savings from doing these two fields not only expands the life of Jung Stadium for an additional, hopefully 12 to 15 years, but also provides the turf for the indoor facility and enough money for all the ancillary costs on the indoor for netting, curtains, base rock, pad underneath the turf. So there's a lot of costs that it'll actually save by saving this money and doing it now. And so I'll let Coach Hyatt kind of talk about some of the testing we're doing on our other fields to make sure that this does not happen with our other fields.
Matt, just one question first on the indoor facility. What's the warranty or the length of use you think you get out of that? Because you don't have the same exposure to the
Out of indoor, and really, if you talk about turf, the thing that kills turf is two things. It's sunlight and use, and it's mostly sunlight. And so with the turf on the indoor, a lot of their indoor facilities, they get anywhere from 20 to 30 years on their indoors because the UV does not do as much to them. And so we will also put a different kind of turf in there that's a little more, obviously it's not a playing surface as far as a field goes for a game. And so it can be more of a all activity surface. It'll be a little more, it'll stand up a little better to the wear it'll take and the abuse.
And I assume that you've chatted with some folks that have put set turf in already to make sure.
A lot. We walked, seen a lot of indoor facilities and walked a lot of turfs and asked them what they like better. And there's all kinds of filaments you can put in and no filaments. And so we're going to look at all those and do the very best for our kids.
Well, thanks for having me. And I know you guys are going to ask, but yes, our current field in Jung is safe for one football season. And when Matt said that Mid-America has been a great partner, they funded an extensive test from Sports Labs that was completed in March. There were 6 tests ran at that time to test not only the hardness of our field, but also the playability of rotational force and that type of thing. and all tests came within spec. So it is safe. It was a great investment to put that pad underneath it. As Matt mentioned, that greatly helps extend the life of the turf, and also when you have an issue as well. We are also in process of testing the 4 newer turf fields at Joplin High School for UV degradation on the fibers. And the issue there is that is a 6 or 7 month long process where those fibers are taken from the field and they have to bake in a UV oven, so to speak, to get a test that anybody will stand behind. It takes that long. Mid-America is also funding that. We have no reason at this time to suspect any issues on any of the 4 fields at the high school. One of them, the softball field, has been down for 4 years. The other ones are in their infancy, but we have no reason to suspect any issues with those fields. As he said, that this is unfortunate, but Mid-America has been a great partner and really stood behind us and everything that we need to get done and the assurances that we need to move forward.
I think it's great that they're allowing us to lock in the price this early.
So we should say that. So we would still play this season on the field. I mean, they even offered to come in and do it this year, but we can get one more, at least a year out of it. And really, like Coach Hyatt said, the field's not unsafe. I mean, we could play on it for years if we wanted to, but we're going to start seeing aesthetics, and we're going to start seeing playability, and so we're going to put more maintenance into the field, and it's going to shorten the life. So to us, the better decision was to now extend the warranty, get a better turf on there, and extend the life of the field much longer.
Yeah, I mean, when you and I talk about this, you look at it, it's like, are we happy as a district we're going to spend some dollars on it? No. But the fact that it's not good until after this next season, you were going to be facing a redo of this in 2031, probably somewhere in that range.
Correct, easily.
And by then, that $700,000 nut could have been $900,000.
Easily.
And so when I think about that and the time of the cost of money over that period of time, it's a good investment to get it done the way you guys have worked towards that. So I appreciate what you guys did on that, because I actually think we'll come out some dollars ahead on it, because you get it done in 2027. The next time you're looking at this 2039, 2040.
Correct.
That's dollars well spent, I think.
Correct.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned that the new field will come with another 8-year warranty. So in both the indoor and the junk. So thank you.
You guys did good work on this.
And I appreciate that you're on top of this, that somebody had the knowledge to look at that and say something's not right here. I mean,
Well, I need to give credit elsewhere because I alerted him, but I was alerted by one of our facility department people that were in the field to a potential issue. So I think it shows that we have good people there and they understand what's going on and our system works.
and we might have had a field that lasted 3 or 4 years less than what it should have had. We not acted, and we got a good price. So I think this is a good proactive read on this and the district benefits. Any other questions? Seeing there are no further questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the Jung returf and the indoor facility turf.
I move for approval of the returning jump and.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Mrs. Musser. Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn, being no further discussion.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Robertson, a second by Ms. Schroeder to adjourn. Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.